Hey everyone, and welcome to Kane Chat, where I talk about just about anything that I feel like talking about. Um, yeah, if in case you notice, hey, the better volume is because, I actually got an actual headset this time. Yay! So it should be working much better. Now, if you're looking at the background at the moment, you'll know exactly what this time I'm talking about. I am, of course, going to be discussing Extreme Wrestling Entertainment, aka EWE, their pay-per-view Last Stand, which is the very final pay-per-view before their WrestleMania pay-per-view. Now, I'm going to just go through the card and just kind of talk about it. The first deadline has already passed, so unfortunately, again, it means that there's going to be a couple of obvious winners for some of them. Some of them we're still waiting on. But it does affect some things. Now, of course, I'm going to be going down the card, and I'm going to be discussing this a little bit, and yeah. So, first one I'm going to be talking about is at the very bottom of the list. Yes, if you can see, I scrolled down because I want to save the best for last. Anyways, so the first one I'm going to be talking about is the Ladies' Choice Qualifier. The Open Invitational, open to any diva except for Amelia Peterson and Michelle McCool. As you'll find out later, it's because they are facing for that match at this very moment. Now, as of the first deadline, we've only had 2 people actually post. We have some new girl or guy, who knows, um who's playing Harley Quinn. Now, I don't know much about her. I didn't really get to read much of her stuff. She's just Harley Quinn. That's the only thing I know about her. She didn't really post very well, but sadly we have an obvious winner for this one because while Harley Quinn only posted like a small amount, the other one, who's a new character, I'm assuming, the Phantom Elite, and they actually posted a full-on big block text. So, man, just based on that, you can tell that even if both of them do an epic roleplay, the first one will sadly trump it. Of course, I did kind of want to enter this myself. I didn't actually get a chance to due to the actual match I had and procrastination because I'm really bad at that. But yeah, this is just the first qualifier match, so we'll see who the other 5 are, assuming it's the same as last time. But Jay will probably kick me in the butt. It's like, hey, just this exact same one. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so I'm gonna move on. Next up, we have an tag title match at WrestleMania 12, an open Texas Tornado tag, open to anyone at all, except for Silent Running, aka yeah, Flashback to Summer Breakdown 2015. Yes, same applies. Doesn't have to be EWE, which is actually ironic because the last time I did this, the episode 1, I was actually discussing Summer Breakdown. Now, in this, we've actually only had 2 people meet the final deadline. One was Johnny Chaos for the Chaos siblings, and the other one was I don't even remember who it was. I just remember it was some wrestler, and I don't know. I didn't really get a good look at it, but it's still open up. Neither of them have an obvious you lose type thing, so it's still open to both of them. We'll see. But honestly, it should be a great match. And again, well, I don't even have any tag teams. Well, at least the male tag teams. And the Divas tag teams are pretty much dead nowadays. Because, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, as you notice, they're not even on this card defending. But I'll get to that in a later thing. Next, we have Money in the Bank qualifier, open invitational, open to anyone except Jack, Clown, and Sid. Now, the reason for Sid is because she set the face, the winner of Jack versus, I mean, she's, sorry. she's basically set to face whoever has the undisputed championship at the end of it. And I actually noticed that there were quite a few people in there. Again, uh, I'm going to be right back to see exactly who's all in this match. Okay, so I now know who actually has entered the match. We have Alessandro Quaglia, whatever, and we have Buzz Jacobs. Now, I actually did go up against Buzz Jacobs once before, and I failed. But yeah, he's definitely can be interesting. I mean, he's definitely got like the details and things like that going for him, but eh. Honestly, I personally think that Alessandro is going to win, mainly just because I mean it's Abdul or whichever. I forget. It's been too long, and I don't know. Honestly, I just think he's got that because really he's really just that good. I mean, personally, I hope Buzz Jacobs will put up a great fight and hopefully actually have a good match. That's what I mean to say. I don't even know what I'm saying sometimes. But yeah, moving on. I have Android 18 versus Angela Fortin in a grudge match. From what I understand, this took place because Android 18 had said some kind of back-mouthing Angela Fortin and something, and so Angela's like, hey, let's do it. But the sad part is, Android 18's handler is kind of MIA at the moment. So really, I kind of doubt that she shows, but you never know. But then you also have Angela Fortin, who was Scar, and again, I honestly just, and Scar's not really been that active, and she's definitely been known to, like, not post the best role plays. So sadly, I almost have to give it to her just because I have a feeling that Android 18 is just not is going to completely no show. And yes, I've seen times where Android 18 had just completely just no showed. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. But let's see. Moving on the card, we actually have my match, which is the EWE X Core Championship Extreme Rules Elimination Freddy Fazbear versus Thunder Dragon versus Chaos versus Desmond King. Now, if you can guess who I am, I'll give you a brownie point, but for those who are watching from EWE, you can exactly know who I am, and that's Thunder Dragon. Now, with all this, sadly, we already know who it's going to be down to at the moment. It's either going to be down to me, aka Thunder Dragon, or Chaos. Reason why is because, well, okay, I guess I can't say that for sure because Freddy Fazbear did actually post, but I actually read the role play, and quite frankly, it was it really lacked in any kind of like match talk or stuff like that. So I'm just like, what? So really, I don't see Freddy really winning. I mean, yeah, he could pull off a doozy of a second role play but from what I've understood, Eli is not really doing the best with his role plays and things like that. Well, I mean, not that he's not doesn't have good ones. He just hasn't been doing like the most lately. But I still think that like he could come back and actually do something, but I kind of doubt it. Of course, there's me who, of course, put up a pretty good role play. There's Chaos. I haven't yet read his current role play, but I can guarantee you that I will. And then Desmond King, who just didn't post at all, but I was informed that it was because the handler D was unable to. Which, from what I heard, it makes sense. I kind of feel sad for him, but and it would have made this match a little bit more interesting, but sadly, with what I've seen so far from Desmond King, or I just wasn't as impressed. So I kind of expect that he's, just not going to, not wasn't actually going to do it anyways. Anyway, so yeah. So another reason why is because I actually did face Chaos before this. I lost because uh, it's slightly annoying when you have multiple different ideas in your head about the role play, and when you choose one over another and then it bombs, then you're like, man, I should have used the other one. In this case, I uh, I originally wrote a match. I wrote a scene in my roleplay where, uh, now not this one, the previous match, but my original roleplay. The original scene I made was basically Thunder Dragon. He was randomly watching Power Rangers, which, um, fun fact, I literally at the time was still currently working on my Power Rangers marathon. Yeah, yeah, whatever. But I had gotten all the way to Power Rangers in Space, and I literally was 10 episodes away from finishing it. Granted, I didn't actually finish it that time, but yeah. And so I was kind of making like a little joke because Chaos's pick base is Jason David Frank, aka the actor who played Tommy, aka the Green/White Ranger. Um, but after doing that, even though if I remember correctly, it wasn't even my original idea. It was just some. I mean, I had two ideas running through my mind. That one and another one, and I chose that one. The other one was going to reference it, but was going to move on in the roleplay, and I it was going to take place, after Thunder's match the previous time, and yeah. Which personally I thought that would have been much better, especially because apparently that scene killed that roleplay, giving Chaos a win, and I made sure not to make sure something like that didn't happen in this roleplay, but I did scan Chaos's roleplay, so far it's looking good, and he definitely has a big hand in it. I'm hoping that, my next roleplay is gonna be able to trump his, but we'll just have to see. Next up, we have the EWE Divas Championship singles match, Missouri Payne versus Chica. Now, for starters, I do want to say, even though I should have said that, I'm actually a huge fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's, which, yeah, when these guys showed up, I'm like, that's awesome. Sadly, as far as I know, Eli is mainly just using them just to give Joker minions, or, however it works. So far, he's not really gone into the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. The only thing that was close was before they found out who the Joker was, who their boss was. He used the purple text, which I thought was awesome because, with the purple guy, as everyone loves to call him. And then you also had of the boss, and he basically called him on a phone, and which, oh my goodness, he used the phone. Well, kind of references the actual game. So that was one thing I didn't love about it. But now he's kind of strayed away from being really tied to FNAF, except for the fact that, they just have these, outfits on, that they wrestle in. I'm looking more forward to seeing more what Eli does with them, especially, he does seem to do, I think, a little bit better with Chica, at least from what I've read, like the last match these two have, because it's funny, this match was actually set for the previous pay-per-view, but Missouri, if I remember correctly, she won, they actually had a tiebreaker. Huh. I don't know. I read read them both, and I personally thought Missouri's was better than Chica's. But I mean, that's just a difference in opinion and whatnot. So, um, sadly, of course, with Mike having his girlfriend, he's not really been as active as much. Sadly, that means that we could be looking at him no-showing Mizor and Chica winning by not the best roleplay because of what I was talking about Eli in the previous match. It's a little disappointing. Plus, I know Mike is wanting to have Mizor move to the next level. I mean, personally, I don't know how he feels about it, but it would kind of bite a little bit because I mean, literally, he just won. Well, yeah, he had just won the Divas Championship and was the top of the division. But after merging, he got bumped back down to Shining Star rank. So now, yeah, I know he wants to go after the next, back at the women's. So from what I heard, he might actually just try to drop it. You never know. He might just let Eli win. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully we see an actual match. Because I know he was talking to me about something he had planned. But we'll see. Moving on. We have a grudge match with Johnny Chaos versus the Joker. Now, this little thing has apparently been building in certain aspects, and they haven't made their roleplay yet, and I actually found out some interesting things about it. So I'm actually curious about how it plays out and how it plays out in this actual match. So yeah, you have Johnny Chaos who's missing his daughter, and the Joker's helping him using his resources. But then you have all these other fun little tidbits that are in the other ones. So it's kind of curious about what's going on, and you just kind of just want to know, like, what's happening. He's doing a pretty good job painting the picture. The sad part is, and by him, I mean Eli. I mean, Jay does his awesomeness as per usual, but majority of what I've seen apparently has been written by Eli himself. So yeah, he's doing a good job with this story arc and the way he's writing it. The sad part is sometimes it takes a back seat to his, the match talk part of the roleplay, which is one of the problems he had last week. Not that it wasn't there, it couldn't have been better, but I just kind of thought that his storyline had just kind of taken over. Plus, let's see, how many Joker pick bases has this been now? I forgot who he had originally. Some random dude. Then he went to the Dark Knight's version of Joker. Now this Joker. Yeah. But, see Eli's character. We'll see. And personally, yeah, I'm not going to go to that old Jack Nicholson thing. Next up, we have the EWE Tag Team Championship, which is the standard tag with Silent Running, the champions, versus the Shield. Of course, I've talked about this with my prediction, and honestly, I believe Silent Running is going to win. Why? Because when you take when you take Dustin, teaming with John North, and you have a team that is extremely hard to beat. So, yeah. There's really not much else to say about this. I mean, I know Jay is one of the people that I believe that he can beat them, but the Shield is not exactly his best people. Yeah, Dean Ambrose, well, currently former member of the Shield now, is pretty much on fire. I've only been able to read one of his mini role plays, and I really want to be able to read some of the other ones. But These two, it's just not his best. I know that he'd be able to put forward a great match, but in the end, you have those auto 9 pointers. They're gonna kick the Shield's butt. Not what I want, but because I don't know. Personally, with the tag team division, especially with this, I just think that they need a second division. Cause sorry, dudes. I mean, Dustin and John, but you guys are awesome and good. And yeah, people do need to like be able to step it up. But I mean, to really become the top of the company, the problem is you're scaring our tag teams away. I mean, seriously, just look back down there and look at who entered a literally a tag invite to face you guys at WrestleMania. I mean, no one really wanted to do it. I mean, you had one dude besides John, Jay, who posted it. But aside from that, really, who entered it, of course, because obviously, I know he's not, scared of you guys, but he's just one of those guys. But like a majority of the other people, honestly, they're scared of you. So honestly, I think in a way something needs to be done about that. Yeah, just step it up. Yeah, well, see, my problem is that you guys are just too good. And at the very least, even though I did talk to Jay about this, I do kind of wish that there was a second tag team titles that were lower than those. Mainly because it would help help keep the tag division running without just having to do some kind of side feud. They can still battle for a championship, and you still, once those guys they're like, hey, we feel like, hey, we can challenge these guys, the Uber champions, then we can take a shot at that. Otherwise, you don't have to feel like, oh my goodness, these guys are auto 9 pointers, and I'm just an 8 pointer. I can't do this. Which is again, yeah, you guys being top titles, cool, that works because there's other titles for other people to go after, but not tag team. So I personally think that that's part of the reason why the tag division is having such a problem. But with that out of the way, I'm going to move on to Dean Ambrose versus Kelsey Parr for the EWE International Championship. Sadly, see, if Mike was on his game, I believe that he definitely could put up a pretty good fight. I believe that, yeah, he could possibly actually win. I do say possibly because I still believe that even if he did, Dean Ambrose is on fire, and I still think that he'd still win, but I still believe it's closer enough. But the fact that with Mike not being as active because of his girlfriend, we are going to looking at a subpar Kelsey roleplay, or just a no par at all. She completely no shows, and Dean Ambrose takes the cake. Honestly, that's really what I'm seeing, but that's that. Next, we have the EW's Women's Championship singles match. Amelia, the Phoenix Peterson versus Michelle McCool. So, what did I really think about this match? Honestly, it's weird. I don't know much about Amelia Peterson, and sometimes I confuse her with no, not Josie Wales. That other one. Yeah, Angela Fortin. I don't know. It's like, I think it's more that I don't know about her, and my mind just wants to attach her to uh, Fortin. Honestly, I don't know why. I can't really explain it. I'm not the only one who has this. Jay just doesn't get it, but I don't know. I can't really explain it. Um, yeah, so, yeah, But then, so anyways, so from what I know that Amelia is definitely one of those higher up, you know, people. That sounded really weird. But I know that Amelia is definitely one of the, higher card people, and Michelle McCool can be with Jay. Just, admittedly, Jay's writing himself off, if I remember correctly, that he doesn't believe that he can win. Or, I don't know, maybe I completely mixed that up. But, honestly, I still think that Jay has a shot. Yeah, I know it's not his best developed character, but admittedly, he does have Michelle McCool down right, unlike a lot of my characters, who I notice sometimes blend in with their personalities. Like, you can't tell, like, oh, she talks like this one, she talks like that one, and I'm like, really? I don't know. But yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Brock Lesnar versus James Cena. Now, I know that James Cena and Brock have been having like a little kind of feud thing leading up to this match. One's badmouth the other one badmouth back, yada yada yada. Well, more Paul Heyman did it. And finally, boom, here we go. Let's see. Well, Brock is definitely, if I remember correctly, Jay said that Brock is undefeated so far. With the exception of, open invites. But yeah, he's definitely up there, and he's been bringing it since day one. And yeah, he's got like those higher up there, like from 8.8 to 8.9 to somewhere in the nines or something like that. So Brock definitely can do it. James Cena, I've seen stepped up since whatever. I honestly haven't read one of his role plays yet. And in case James Cena is listening, no, I do not have any kind of grudge, hatred, or ill feelings towards you. I don't know where that really came up or anything. But no, in case you're wondering, think, oh my goodness, I'm gonna do something with the match. I mean, be biased against you if I judge the match, even though I'm not. Because JC did that, don't worry about it. But I'm not. I don't know where this came from. I don't have a problem with you. So, yeah. Anyways, but honestly, I could see this being a great match, and honestly, Cena, I've seen like some of the other well, sadly I haven't been able to read the matches. I mean the actual role plays, but like I've seen some of them like where you took it to like Jack Michaels and things like that. And to be completely honest, I'm kind of kind of in your corner. I'm like rooting for you to win. Not that you know that really affects my judging. Like whenever I do judge matches, but I mean, but anyways, this is my personal opinion. I still kind of see James Cena as kind of an underdog, and I usually root for the underdog. And so I'm looking for a win here for him. But I mean, Brock Lesnar, he's going to be a tough opponent to beat, and it's really hard to say who's going to win. So Cena, I really hope you put forth epic role plays and make this match awesome. Because either way, it's going to be awesome, regardless who wins. Next, we have our main event, the EWE Undisputed Championship. No disqualification lumberjack match. We have The Blast, Jack Michaels versus The Clown. With the lumberjacks being Sid Vicious, Dutch Clark, Derek Daniels, Christy Chaos, Leon Cashmere, Venom, Triple H, Joe Puffs, and The Pride. Now, for starters, I did not know that there was any link between someone named Venom and Jack Michaels. I don't really know much about him. Yeah, I know this is random thing to start talking about, but it was my first thing that popped in my head when I first heard about it. I'm like, wait, I know Venom was a wrestler. Rather, I can't remember if he was an actual real life wrestler or one from here. And I was thinking, like, wait, like, I didn't know that there was someone named Venom in their corner. I know there was a Venom that, whatever. Um, so yeah, this one definitely going to be a awesome match. Um, uh, huh. Sorry, I was looking at the little thing. But anyway, so this is definitely going to be an epic match. We already have both of them posted. They're going to be awesome. The reason why this happened is because uh, Dustin the Handler decided to give the clown a shot. I don't fully understand the reason for it, but in character wise, you just like, no, that's, I'm confused. I haven't read the Rumble pay-per-view yet. Yeah, I know that's kind of dumb, but I've honestly been busy with tons of other things. I just haven't read it yet. Um, so yeah, you have Jack Michaels and his auto 9 points, and you have the clown. And the reason why this is set up is because the clown cashed in on Jack for during his Iron Man match, which of course the clown failed, but because of his audacity to do that, Jack decided, no, I'm coming for you, blah blah blah. I'm a little confused ish, but whatever. So, that's that. We have Papa Roach, which is apparently still swinging by Papa Roach is the theme. And yeah, so that is Last Stand and kind of my thoughts going into it. With everyone that's going to be role playing in it, I really hope that you have. That just totally messed up. But yeah, I do wish the best for everyone who's in this pay-per-view, and I do wish the best for everyone. And I just said that. I don't know why I am messing this closing up. But regardless, it should be an awesome thing. Hopefully that the writing team can get things on time. The judges, you better start judging your matches awesomely. Yeah, I know I'm one of them, but I don't even know if I'm one. I don't even know if I'm one of the problems. But regardless, that's it for this episode of Kane Chat. I do hope that you found something enlightening, and if you've never heard of Extreme Wrestling Entertainment before, I suggest you check it out. The best way, if you can't, if you don't know the actual thing, the way pretty much I've done it since then, all you have to do is in Google, type in Mizore Pain, Mizore, Mizore, and Stealth Elf, which literally stealth space elf, and it should be one of the first links. Granted, it's going to show some match, but still, it's definitely like the first link in Google, and that is the best way to get to EWE. At least in my case, unless you have a direct link from someone. So with that, I bid you farewell, and hopefully it's not almost, half a year before I do another one. But who knows? Who really cares? Anyways, until next time, catch you later. See ya!